host, George Miller. I'm here almost every Wednesday from noon till 1 Central Time, and I take questions about career development. So I'll share a little bit about a topic today, but I want to remind anybody who's listening in that you are welcome to ask any questions career related. You do not have to try to stay on the topic. Anything from resume reviews to interview questions to what's my purpose at work? Am I really satisfied? And I especially love questions about relationships at work, relationships with team, with boss, with anybody, because at the end of the day, relationships are really the most important thing in career development. Of course, you have to have the technical skills. Of course, that is important. But as you develop throughout your career, research shows again and again that the most important thing is social and emotional intelligence, or the soft skills, is your ability to communicate with other people. So there's a few ways you can engage. I love it when you jump in directly on Zoom. I can talk with you that way. And if that doesn't work for you, if you do not want to jump in on Zoom, I totally understand, given that this is being live streamed on LinkedIn and on YouTube. You can type your questions into the comment section and I will do my best to answer them. So today I'm talking about why metrics alone do not motivate. So there's several ways of looking at this. If I am doing a performance review, what the metrics that I'm sharing with my staff are only important in the context of what our greater job is. And this is something that often people will struggle with when they are meeting with somebody on their team and they're saying, here are these metrics. Here's what you hit, here's what you didn't hit. And what really matters is the broader context, is how your person is trying to achieve their goals, and what are the blocks? What are the internal blocks and what are the real blocks? What are the blocks that are coming from within the organization? So it helps to know and communicate what the objective is, the overall objective, and to then talk about how the team is achieving that objective or not. And so just talking about the numbers, people will get lost in the numbers. Now, there are some personality types that do a lot better in that space, but that's not going to work for everybody. So you want to, when people are only communicating logically, there's all kinds of nuances that are being missed. The emotions are incredibly important in communication. I think about a client who was, he was a very smart guy and would present in front of groups of hundreds of people on the team and lay out a new plan that they were going to be acting on, and updating people on new software and that kind of thing. And one of the things that he found was that he was often staying an hour, 2 hours after the meeting, answering all kinds of questions. And he started to think to himself, what is going on here? Didn't I prepared for like 2 weeks, and I thought I was answering all these questions, and I put it all out there logically, and it seems like no one's understanding. As he started doing more emotional intelligence work and tapping his feelings, being aware of what he was feeling, and then he could pick up on what the crowd was feeling and what people are feeling out there, he found that people did not ask him as many questions. That as he was emotionally engaged with himself and with the people he's talking to, it's like all of a sudden, these hundreds of people could actually understand what he was saying. And so that's how important being in touch with feelings is in communication. I'm not saying throw out the logic. Of course, you need the logic, but logic alone is not going to cut it. See, we are emotional beings. We have so many feelings happening all the time, and our thoughts are usually justifications for what we've already decided. And so if I'm going into a review and we're just looking at numbers in there, and I'm not taking into account how I'm feeling about stuff, then it's going to be way less meaningful to me. It's certainly not going to motivate me. I was meeting with a client yesterday who was sharing about how they do their job beautifully. They've been at it for many years, and one of their biggest pain points is that their supervisor does not acknowledge the work that they're doing. And this is somebody who is not motivated by money. They are motivated by really hearing from somebody how well they're doing, hearing from somebody about the impact that they're making. And so every time they have a review, well, it's like, yeah, here, I hit all the metrics and okay, check, you're done. But that's not inspiring. And while that may work again for a percentage of people, it's not going to work for everybody. And so learning how to make space for reflection and connection in your team meetings is so important. It's like that's the foundation that you need for whatever data is that you're sharing, for that to have meaning. So that's what I wanted to share about with today. I am going to wrap early, unless there's any questions coming in. I will wrap up quickly today. I've got a full day and I'm not feeling too hot. So I will be signing off unless I have any questions coming in. Just let me know. You can always reach out to me to set up a one-to-one if jumping in on a live stream is not your thing. I invite you to set up a 15, 20-minute meeting with me. Often people find that really useful in helping them advance in their careers, just getting clarity about where they're at. So that's a way that you can set up time with me. And other than that, I will be back later. Again, I'm here almost every Wednesday at noon. So if you've got questions in mind, save them for next week.